My name is Dr. Brendel Doss, and I am a clinical psychologist and expert in assessment, trauma treatment, and geriatric psychology. And this is Psyched for Sanity.
And I am Tara McKelvey Parker. I am a clinical psychologist that specializes in assessing and treating individuals with childhood attachment wounds and complex trauma. And I am psyched to be here.
You're psyched. I forgot to tell you, my favorite color is blue. Did I mention that?
No.
I love the color blue. I'm wearing blue pants. I usually try to wear the color blue, not all the time. I don't want to be too one note.
You do like blue.
I do.
I'm loving the white, though.
Thank you. Thanks.
It makes you look very glowy.
I feel like I'm going to go to court. No, I do like it.
I feel like I'm going on an afternoon walk through the park.
Well, maybe you are after this. We don't know.
I actually might be.
No, I like wearing dress downs. I like wearing button-down shirts.
You do. And I like wearing jeans. Yeah. Anything that is close to pajamas is my jam.
Right. Well, so I like blue. What is your fun fact for today?
Well, my fun fact is psyched to be here, right?
Yeah.
But I've always wanted to do a podcast. I never thought I would until you came to me and said, let's do a podcast. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, no, I literally dragged you here.
You did. I'm not quite sure what's happening.
Well, one thing I feel like comes up a lot in a lot of the conversations we've had, which is a ton. We've known each other for how long?
Since 2015.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah. 10-ish years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a long time. Decade.
There's a term for that, a decade.
Yes.
It's a decade.
Oh my gosh.
One thing I feel like is interesting as a psychologist is the things that people tell you when they find out.
Oh, yeah. We were having this conversation the other day.
Yes.
About the craziest things people have said to us when they find out that we are a psychologist.
Right.
And there were many stories.
Oh my gosh. So many stories. And ways to handle that delicate situation.
So that we do not go insane. Hence, Psyched for Sanity.
Hence the title. Yeah, we're constantly, along with our viewers and listeners, searching for our own sanity in some ways, for sure.
Absolutely. I always tell my patients I'm one step ahead of them. I have some training and I'm one step ahead of you in my healing.
Right. Yeah. No, healing is definitely a journey. It's not necessarily always a destination.
Oh, it's so annoying, but true.
Very true.
Yeah.
So what is one thing or one story you have, when someone found out you were studying psychology, or that you were a
Usually
psychologist?
People were like, wow, you're crazy. Why are you going to do more school?
Yeah.
But
yes.
a lot of times people, because I used to wait tables and bartend when I was in college, and a lot of people thought when I said I'm a psychologist, or I'm going to be a psychologist, that I'm actually psychic.
What? Wait. I have a question to the audience.
Yes.
They thought you were psychic, so they thought...
psychic. I could read their minds.
Oh.
And when I
didn't know psychics had to spend so much money to go to school.
Right, exactly. I don't really understand, except for I do know it can feel very, exposing. Sure. When you're a psychologist, you're on the other end of that, and you're sitting in the chair. It's very vulnerable. But they used to say, "Oh, you can read my mind," and if I was really in a bad mood, I'd be like, "Yeah, absolutely can." And that would freak people out.
It would absolutely, I bet, freak people out. So I can definitely see you as a waitress and a bartender. I feel like you have that vibe in your youth.
Yeah. It was. It was fun. There were also, and speaking of crazy things, as a female working in a bar, lots of typically men feeling.
I have the word seedy in my mind. Is that what's?
Yeah, that feel like they, you need to do what they want you to do, and they'll pay you for it.
Oh.
Yeah, specifically, hey, stand by me. I'll give you $20. That. It could be icky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's definitely icky.
Yeah. Or I had this one man who used to come into the restaurant and quiz me, and then he would give me $100. I mean, the $100 was great.
Wait.
Psychology question.
Okay.
He would come. I'm being so dead serious.
So there was a person that would routinely come into this bar. Were you waiting tables or bartending?
Waiting tables.
Okay.
Yeah.
They would come in just to make sure we're here, and they would ask you psychology questions.
Yes, and if I got them correct, he would give me $100.
That is a weird fetish, man. That is a weird one.
It was weird. It was bizarre.
Yeah.
Yeah. So lots of crazy things What about you?
Well, where's the one place that you should never tell a person
Oh God, I feel
that
like
you are a psychologist or
this.
any form of mental health professional? Like, I've learned this the hard way, so I'll tell you.
Like anywhere.
No, there's a specific place that's worse than other places.
Okay, what is it? Just tell us.
You don't want to guess?
No.
Okay. Airplanes.
Oh, that was obvious.
Was it? I don't feel it was that. Maybe not. The one place is because you're trapped for however long, even if it's a short flight. The access and egress of the plane, getting on the plane, off, all that, it takes time.
It takes a lot of time.
And so then you're sitting next to someone, and they're like usually for me, it was always a person that was somewhat older than me that was trying to be nice to the foundling that they found themselves sitting next to in the plane.
Who says foundling?
I do. I like the color blue and I wear button-down shirts. What is the problem?
When you say foundling, it's just.
Yeah, I know.
It's great.
I talk like
I love it. I love
an
it.
80-year-old Caucasian man, but I am in fact not an 80-year-old Caucasian man. That's been a theme across many years of my life. But anyways, the plane. No, it's fine. It happens to us all the time. The plane is because the first reaction usually is like, ooh, are you reading my mind, like that?
Exactly.
Or, ooh, oh, can you guess what I'm thinking? Or, ooh,
yeah.
Are you therapizing me?
Or, every single day.
Or like, oh, don't tell her. I'm not going to tell you about my problems. Ha, ha, ha. And then.
I do not care.
Right.
That's what I want to say, but.
Well, you know what I say.
What do you say?
You want to see what I So I say? Because it's not always nice. I think you're a nicer person. I'm a little more direct.
No. I don't have boundaries sometimes. I think that's actually what it is.
No, so what I will say is I have a variety of responses. And I usually don't say them unless I'm like joking and I can tell the person could handle the joke. It's like, oh, you're not paying me.
See, always assessing, actually.
You have to always
assess.
Life is full of assessments.
Especially when you're a psychologist.
Right. Okay. No, you're not paying me.
Yes.
Or you're not that interesting.
I love that one. I wish I could say that.
Sometimes I, like, if they're being really weird and I am trying to be maybe a little less kind, I'm like, you cannot afford me. That is unkind. And I think I've probably said that in my head. Maybe I've used that in a bar. But, like, as a customer going into a bar.
Yes, a customer.
You know what I mean? And someone else, like, sidles up. You know when you're waiting for friends at a bar, someone sidles up next to you, like, oh, like, trying to make chit-chat while you're waiting?
Yeah.
That's actually happened to me at airport bars. Why are my stories all about airports today?
I don't know.
But that's happened to me before, too. Like, someone came to it was like, oh, what do you do for work?
And
I made the mistake of
yes. Oh, absolutely. Oh, yes.
Because this is what inevitably happens.
Yeah, what happens? Tell me. Please tell me. And then I'll tell you what happens for me.
Well, they always say, oh, no, you're shrinking me. Oh, no, I can't. And then they end up telling you their entire life story.
Yes.
And all their trauma. And all their issue with their daughter-in-law. And how they never got to say goodbye to their mother.
Okay, and so this is why self-care can be so hard, right? Because this happens for me when I maybe get my hair cut or I have like a nail tech and it's like longer. Yeah. And those sort of relationships are more casual. But when
you see them more often, like
you
in
see
an
them more
interval
often,
basis.
and they know you're a therapist, and then you know their whole, and you're like literally in the chair for 4 hours if you get highlights, and it takes so long.
Even if you do your nails and your toes, that takes a while.
Yeah, and so it kind of feels like these things that we're told should be actually therapeutic or soothing or self-care, it can end up more stressful.
Right.
Sometimes.
Right. Yeah, I have a crazy story. I like a nail job every now and then, little toe cleanup. You know what I mean?
I do
little
know
maintenance.
I do know what you mean.
The more traditional version of self-care, right?
Yeah.
And so I once was seeing a lovely nail technician, a female, and got into that kind of dynamic that you just mentioned where they find out what you do and then they just decide to kind of talk to you. And it's hard to, you don't want to be mean. Like it feels really mean to say, hey, it seems like you're talking about really important and valuable stuff. And I would be honored to be the person to do that. But unfortunately, the dynamic we have right now is that I am not your therapist. And
I know.
I think you should really find one. So...
Yeah, it's really, really hard. I think I'm not great at that, like balancing, because a lot of times I am actually pretty curious, like about, like I do have this one hairstylist I'm thinking of in the past. I really cared about her, and I was curious about her story, and I was concerned, but I did have a hard time setting boundaries. I kind of felt like, it's hard to balance, like, caring and also for others and also caring for yourself.
Well, I think if you weren't curious, you wouldn't be a good psychologist, but you're a fabulous psychologist.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Are too.
Thanks.
We make a good team.
We do. I think so.
This is why she dragged me here.
That's why I dragged you here. No, but I mean,
I know, I came willingly.
For the record, this is
I came
recorded.
willingly.
There's no force.
I'm not a victim.
The consent was obtained.
The consent was here.
Yep.
Absolutely.
No, the crazy thing is this nail technician, and it wasn't immediate that things went south. It happened.
I remember this story.
Over time,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Where this person was talking about their experience and all their childhood, which is always important to talk to someone in the mental health field about if you feel compelled to do so, and if they're the client, maybe not the client. No, I had this nail technician completely have a really crazy situation. I recommended a book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just based on what
a book about trauma.
Yeah,
a well-known book that is not a new book.
Yeah,
out there, and that turned to where this book often has stimulated people to have intense emotional reactions and things like that.
Yeah.
And this nail technician had an intense emotional reaction to the book and ended up, unfortunately, this sounds crazy to even say, but dealing with some criminal charges.
Yeah.
And I felt so bad, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. And I said, yeah, you should definitely find a therapist and talk about this. This sounds, even just the dealing with criminal charges sounds scary, right?
Absolutely.
And so from there, that conversation happened, and months went by, still regular appointments, regular interaction. And then out of nowhere, I get a call from my nail technician's lawyer.
Yeah.
Saying, oh, you're the so-and-so's therapist. We need you to testify. We need you to write a letter explaining how this book did this, and this is all the book's fault. And I was so confused because I'm when I'm her, I couldn't even speak. I was I'm her client. She's not my client. And the lawyer's oh. And so the lawyer, kind of backed off or whatever. But a while later, some months, maybe a couple months later, got a strange text message from this nail technician saying I'm going to tell people that you're my therapist and blah, blah, blah. And I'm whoa.
Yeah, that's scary.
It is
That's
scary.
really scary.
It is scary. All because I recommended a book.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. It's so hard.
And so it's tricky.
It's really tricky because you don't technically have a professional relationship with them,
And you never provided
right,
therapy.
Right. So that is actually very scary.
It can be.
It's a very scary story.
Yeah.
And I think that is why sometimes self-care is really challenging because these are places that we are told to go. Go get your hair done. Go get a massage.
Nails.
Do your nail. Sometimes self-care is so canned and scripted.
Mm-hmm.
But if you go and you have trouble with boundaries like me, it can become more stressful than actually helpful.
Yeah.
And I think the most important thing is that you're paying attention to your body and you're aware of that. For us, if these situations are stressful and we can't, set back, whatever, we need to kind of figure out what we really need then in those moments.
Right. And I think that there's several things first of all, it's not necessarily, boundaries are two-way streets.
That's
so
true.
this is an important point. It's
I
not just
take full responsibility for problems.
But this is the whole point of what we're kind of talking about today in this episode is that, how do we share about our profession without people feeling like they can just kind of honestly kind of trauma dump or just dump all their problems on you or just want to or feel like maybe you'll listen and all you're doing, because I know you, is you're just listening, right?
Oh, yes. I'm just listening. Yes, I'm just listening for forestry.
And all I did was recommend a book and just nod and say, oh. And the problem is that our job is literally, in certain areas, in terms of therapy, is to listen. Even with assessment, we listen for responses. But in these contexts, and, boundaries are hard. If the boundaries are hard for you and me, with decades of freaking training and school and degrees.
Well, it's because we are people and we have a lot of intellectual knowledge, but if we're not connected to our bodies and what we need and what we're experiencing emotionally, because it's all here, then we just keep doing the things that we know we shouldn't do.
Sure.
Even though we know we shouldn't do them.
But even with our training,
yeah,
boundaries are still hard.
Oh, totally. Yes,
so
exactly.
Imagine not obviously having the classes and the training and the continuing education classes, and then, you meet a therapist in the wild.
Oh, God.
A psychologist in the wild. And, so it's hard. I understand, why people share. I think that's important to say.
For sure. Yeah.
I just think that, how do you handle that as a mental health professional, and how do you help the person that you interact with not feel ashamed or uncomfortable or embarrassed? You know what I mean? That's a tricky...
That's hard. I don't know if I know the full answer.
I think one thing that I've learned from my unfortunate interaction was just almost immediately, if that kind of happens, and again, in the future, is to say, hey, I really, you shared a lot of things with me today, and you were really brave with that, but I'm worried because we're literally in the middle of your, I don't know, your hair salon or your nail salon, or we're in the middle of buying a car. I don't know. Anything. And this is not a secure place, and I'm not just saying it as gently and as kindly and as respectfully as possible.
That's a good idea.
I'm not your therapist.
Yeah.
And you deserve to have someone. You deserve to have that time and space for someone to really, really listen.
That's amazing and also brave.
I think this is the trick, though. I think I figured it out. I think the trick is to do it early.
Early.
Before the train goes so far the track that you're hearing about someone's sister's brother's cousin who's, hasn't paid them the $5,000 and you're still watching the kids. Who knows? Who knows?
It's a lot of stuff.
That's my point.
Or sometimes there's a lot of pain.
There's a lot of pain.
It's really hard. Yeah. It's really hard.
And people deserve to have someone.
100%. Yeah, definitely.
To share and process that with,
Yeah. Sometimes just as hard, and I think we take on a lot, and, we really need to take care of ourselves.
So if self-care, we're doing these things, we're going to these nail salons, these hair places, and massage, that we've been booked and so excited about to relax, and then it doesn't become self-care.
Yeah.
We're kind of falling into the same trope that so many people probably are. People who look on Instagram, and nothing wrong with Instagram or any other social media, but on social media, take deep breaths.
Yeah, exactly. It's that kind of stuff that's super helpful, but it has to be applied at the right time.
And going back to your point, it has to match the need in your body.
Exactly.
Can you talk more about that? Because I don't know if a lot of people understand about that, really.
Yeah, so I think over the past year and a half, I've done a lot of work on myself to get out of my head because I'm super intellectual and I want to think about things a lot and then read a lot of books and learn a lot of things.
Of course.
But to kind of shift from that into my body where I can feel the sensations in my body and I've learned what they mean, what I'm feeling, and then what my body needs, what it needs to feel better. So, if I did a quick scan now, I have a lot of tightness in my chest because this is a stressful experience and I'm anxious.
It's new and different.
Exactly.
Right.
So this would be a good moment to take some deep breaths, which I'm trying to do. Right.
But it wouldn't be a good moment necessarily to do an activation, right? Like a lot of movement.
Right.
Yeah.
Or to even, have an intellectual conversation about, hey, it's okay to be scared. This is a first time thing, no biggie, kind of. I need to soothe my nervous system
and
that
your
is
body.
Freaking out.
Right.
And no amount of logic is going to make that any better for me. I'll still be scared.
Right.
So you have to really activate your parasympathetic nervous system, in that moment when you're scared and activated, to calm your nervous system in your body. Right. So no amount of logic is going to help with that. But I want to by learning a bunch and reading a bunch and trying to be as perfect as possible.
Well, that's not possible, but you already are great. One thing I want to ask you today. What, in our conversation, it came up for you as we discussed this stuff? This is a first time for us. We're learning. We're growing together. I'm not dragging you here, but it's a new experience. What came up for you today, you think?
Well, on the way here, I was thinking, I can definitely feel more tension in my body.
Yeah.
As I've kind of been thinking about this podcast, and I had a more stressful week and kind of a rough
Same.
So I'm feeling the buildup of tension in my neck and my shoulders, and now I kind of did this little body scan. I can feel the tightness. I think I need a little bit of, sort of body work, kind of stretching.
Okay.
maybe some yoga.
Yeah.
Like something that's going to kind of help me stretch and relax and also breathe.
Right.
Maybe to feel
Okay.
a little bit more safe in my body.
Almost slow you down in a wet sense.
Exactly.
Okay.
And so after I did the scan on the show, I feel like now I have to do it.
But
this
now
is good accountability.
But now you know what you need.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Actually, and I feel really good about that.
You know what came up for me today was just like one thing I really loved was that how you and I can just get lost in conversation.
That's true.
Even in a very unfamiliar situation and environment.
Your faces.
I know my face is going to be a problem for us.
You know,
I just love our friendship and that we can get. So that's what nerves came up for sure. But I found myself as we got talking, like this is just us talking.
Yeah, it's
like
fun.
It's anywhere.
Yeah, it's fun.
You know, what I think I need though, is just
Yeah, what do you need?
I think for me, maybe just some water because we've been talking for so long.
Oh my gosh, I need some. I've had no water today.
And because psychologists need to talk too. As we wrap up today, I just want to make sure everyone understands, and we've talked about this ironically and I guess unironically now. This podcast is intended for informational and educational purposes only and is not a substitute for therapy, diagnosis, or any kind of professional mental health treatment. We hope that we can share with you our experience authentically and genuinely, and we hope that occasionally we'll make you laugh. Maybe you can relate to our quest and how we're psyched for sanity.
Always psyched to be a little bit more sane.
Right. The content we share is our personal opinions and insights. They are not clinical insights to anyone, and they don't represent or reflect any entity that we work and or have worked for in the past. But if listening to this podcast has made you think, we really encourage you to seek out a mental health professional in your area.